Tribe, it's Friday. Weekend is pretty much upon us. It's been another wicked week here at HQ, and just want to take 10-15 minutes out, let you know what's happening around the bazaars this week just gone, next week, and also just bring you up to speed on some of the more sort of organisational wide developments coming. But the first bit, I always like to start with thanks, good news, tell you what's happening in the community and in the wider tribe, and hopefully all of you got down to vote for the Grey Shirt Awards because it's hugely important to recognise the commitment you're all putting into this. Now, I'm pretty sure 95%, if not all of you, will say I don't do this for thanks. And that's great. It doesn't mean we shouldn't say thanks. And actually, some of the recipients were trying to refuse to get the award because if we don't do it for that, well, tough luck. You're going to get it because we mega appreciate you. And we think what you do is absolutely incredible. So unfortunately, you got to take these awards. And it makes me so happy to be able to do this and recognise people. And, Zoe was organising all this and she did a great job. And she was just beaming from ear to ear. I mean, those of you who met her, she's nearly always beaming anyway, but she was extra noisy this time and extra squeaky. So first one is most thoroughly deserved, the Operational Impact Award, and that goes to the incredible Lizzie Stileman, who's been around a long time in Team Rubicon. On Christmas Day, she's the lady that jumped on a plane last minute to fly to America to get us our water purification units, to then fly them into Indonesia, to get that up and running. What fantastic commitment, and what an absolute outstanding Grey Shirt Lizzie is. So, it gives me great pleasure to announce that she gets awarded that. Next award is Commitment to Service, and again, I can't think of a better recipient than Rich McSweeney. He does so much for us, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, on ops, fundraising, social media. He's just an all-round lovely geezer as well. One of the nicest humans I've ever come across. And, he was saying to me, I don't want the award, I don't want the award. I think he's just worried that Griff's going to take the piss out of him, which I hope he does. So it's great to see Rich McSweeney get the Commitment to Service Award. Thoroughly deserved. Next is the Outstanding Achievement Award. And whether you know him or not, I think there'll be little question in the fact that Damian Lewis gets this. I don't know how many miles he's run in the last 9 months for us, but it's been one mega event a month since last May, and he's still got some more to do. He's run the Amman Desert. Next month he's doing the Marathon des Sables. He's done Tough Mudder. He did a 24-hour non-stop run. He ran from Old Street to Chilmark. The running he's done has been incredible, but he's also done an incredible amount of work for us pro bono in our commercial work. In fact, just yesterday, he was doing a joint pitch with me at Sage, a big software company in the city, and he gives us so much of his time for free. So not only is he giving himself shin splints and spending a fortune on new trainers every month, he's also doing an absolute ton of work for us, and absolutely outstanding guy, really great, and I'm hugely pleased to see him get this award. And then the last one, the Grey Shirt Always, as voted for by your peers. So this wasn't nominated by HQ or anything. This was a completely open, you could nominate anybody from the Grey Shirt base you wanted, and those with the most nominations and reasons got the award. So without any HQ involvement, by the Grey Shirt base only, the ever-present Ian Hancock gets the first award for Grey Shirt Always, as in the first time it's been awarded. And again, that's incredible, because Ian, he hasn't been on ops for a while because he's got a lot going on. He's a very busy guy, but he's always at HQ. He's buying fish and chips for the watch room. He's helping out on training. He's cooking. He's cleaning. He's running people up and down to the airports. He does so much at the behind-the-scenes graft, and again, it's just excellent to see him get this award. And I spoke to him on the phone yesterday, just to say how pleased I was to say that it was going to be him. So, right, that's the awards. For those of you that were nominated and didn't get them, that's unfortunately the nature of awards. But by the very fact you can see that most of those, well, in fact, all of those nominations were put forward by HQ for the various reasons. I hope you can see just how much we appreciate everything you're doing. Medals may shine, but they cast a big shadow, as Churchill said, and sometimes it's disappointing when you don't get them. I hope you know just how much we appreciate you, and it's not just those that were nominated; it's all of you. I really do. I love being a part of this organisation, and I love everything you do for it, and it's incredible. So, congratulations to those that did get the awards. Let's give them one, but also to the rest of you that didn't. I love you all. Right, organisational news. The domestic mission, we've been kicking this around. What is this going to look like? We need to do something in the UK, or we need to make bold decisions around what the business model looks like. So British Gas have given us their team of analysts. They're bright young things to come in and analyse the UK market for us. They've been doing that for about 6-8 weeks. And by the UK market, I just mean the UK. And I asked them to look at what the UK needs macro. So without making too many judgments around what our capability is and what we do, actually, what does the landscape suggest? Where's the need in the UK? They come back with some great back briefs, and then also some points where they think we could fit into that. We've sent them back again, and then we're having the final back brief a week today in London, which means we've got the information we make decisions upon. Now, international disaster response ops and domestic response ops, that's our raison d'etre, that's our brand, that's what we're built around. Then doing the disaster risk reduction stuff, the pre-planned preparedness work, that makes sense to our brand because we're going to be doing it in disaster preparedness in fragile states or hard to reach communities. So what we do in the UK, whether it's across disaffected youth, homelessness, social mobility, environment, I don't know yet, any of these sort of areas, it's not going to be a perfect fit, but it does have to be coherent to Team Rubicon. So it has to make sense for what we're doing. If we were going to work in palliative care for leukemia sufferers, for instance, what a worthy cause, but makes no sense for us to do it. We don't have the expertise. It's not what we say we do. It would confuse the pot. So whatever we do somehow needs to line up with our wider brand. And that will have implications on the regional structure and the branch structure and how we manage that. I was talking to the International Ops course this week, and I was talking to Rich McSweeney around the RAs, and he told me there's rumours flying around, we're crushing the regions. That's nonsense, utter nonsense. So please hear it from the horse's mouth. We're not crushing the regions. In fact, I sat with all the regional administrators just before Christmas to ask them what they wanted to do in the domestic space. They didn't have any, silver bullet ideas either. So we agreed to just wait and see what happens with this research before we make any decisions on how we structure the regions. Because if actually we decide that we will do domestic missions through a centralised location because it doesn't need to be regional, then we can look at how we bring all of those leaders into the branch structure. But that doesn't mean we don't want the regional communities getting together. It just means the next part of our journey and development is in the mission space, and then we look to how we build the community so that you can all get together and hang out and do great stuff. That's really, really important. It's a massive part of what we do is the tribe and the community. But at the moment, we don't have a UK mission. We don't have a regional-led mission because the need just isn't there. So we need to figure that out before we make any huge decisions around how we structure those things. Will the regions get tweaked and changed in how they are administrated? Yeah, probably, because it needs to. But, this place is a community and a tribe of like-minded people doing great stuff in the service of others, but also socialising together, doing good community work. So we've made no decisions on that, and we're doing it in consultation with the region administrators around what's best for the future. So you've heard it from the horse's mouth. We've got loads of work going into what the UK mission will or won't be, and then we'll start looking at how we best structure against that. And I will just keep you informed as we go on that. And then Tuesday, we've got the interviews for the Operations Programme Director. We're doing that up in London at Inmarsat. Now, for those of you who saw the job description go out, you can see this is a big role. It's a pivot for our organisational growth now, is this person that will be coming in. Because we will build this organisation for response. We keep doing our capability development for that. But in reality, only 20% of our time and our resource will be spent on response. So we need to be busy the other 80% of the time doing great work in these hard to reach communities. And that's what this person will be fundamentally important to driving. And that gets more grey shirts deployed. It increases our organisational tempo. It increases our fundraising. This is the most strategically important hire we could be doing at this stage. And I'm really, really excited by the two candidates, both grey shirts, both with a wealth of experience, similar and different. Both would be excellent. And so it's going to be a great day on Tuesday. They're going to, first of all, present to a panel of the executive that I won't be in their approach, and we've given them some scenarios to show us their planning. We need strategic and detail in the same person, which is a rare skill set. And then there'll be a panel interview with myself, Nick Parker, our chairman, and Mike Carter, former colonel, but he's now vice president at Inmarsat, because it's fundamental to see how they'll operate in doctrine, culture for me, and Inmarsat, one of our key partners. It's massively exciting because this person, whichever one it is that gets it, is a huge uptick in talent for us and the ability to deliver deliberate operations and response operations simultaneously. So we need to plan and execute simultaneously, and this is an absolute pivot in being able to do that. So that's Tuesday. I hope to give you all an update on who the new person will be by the end of next week, but we'll wait and see how the process goes first. But the important thing is they're both grey shirts. That was an exclusive only to the grey shirts, and as we have other hires coming up, they will always only be open to the grey shirts in the very first instance, to make sure that you lot that give your time and your passion to this in various ways get these opportunities first. It's really, really important to me that you're not rewarded, but given the opportunity before anybody else. Other bits and pieces coming up. This is from the Marketing Commons Director, Directorate. So DIY SOS. If those of you are on Slack will have, or Slack and Facebook will have seen that Kirsty's been working with Mark Bradshaw the First and Rich McSweeney on a DIY SOS project down in the West Country, Somerset Way. That's massively exciting because it's in the domestic space, and it's helping us figure that out. But it's on TV, and the first rule about Team Rubicon is you always talk about Team Rubicon, right? So to get our brand and our amazing grey shirts onto the BBC, pucker, great stuff. So that's coming up. More to follow as it happens. Next month, on the fundraising space. Sorry, not next month. This month, 27th of March, we're at the Cavern Guards Club. We're getting our Sunday best on up at the Cavern Guards Club for a high net worth donor development evening. So various high net worths that are with us already, or potential future ones, and corporate partners getting together for a drinks reception there. Short speech from me, Nick Parker, the incredible Maria Larson, and also the amazing Damien Lewis that I mentioned earlier. Just talking about Team Rubicon, what it is we do, how we do it, but then the important thing is there's going to be 50, 60 people in the room that we can all start networking with, start creating fundraising relationships out of. So that'll keep the fundraising team busy for a fair while thereafter. We've had a big donation just received from the Soldiers Charity, from the Soldiers Charity, and then they came down to film us in Chilmark on Wednesday. What was meant to be a short interview with me, the camera crew got mega carried away, and we just made a mini Team Rubicon movie, which involved Lizzie Starman, me, Paul Taylor, all of the development team, the whole mission hub, all acting it all out. Sam got his moment on in the big lights, and he got to plan and brief, and I'm interested to see how it comes out, but it took 3 flaming hours of from this angle, and Paul gave an interesting monologue on creating jazz music opportunities in Nepal, but more on that when the video comes out. Some of the key partners that we're talking to at the minute, Jacobs Engineering, they've been hugely forthcoming in developing a corporate partnership with us, which will bring money, but also bring engineers, former military and civil, to help us out on operations. And that's a really exciting opportunity. They're already partnered in Australia with TR Oz, so good to see it coming this side of the ocean as well. Sage, I mentioned earlier, they're the digital payments company. They're massive, and we're just starting a partnership with them, which again comes with money and good people. and Delta Capita, which is a consultancy over in Canary Wharf. They're looking to make a grant in the next couple of months. All really, really exciting. What's also come out of Delta Capita is we've got some really good training products, and we've got some excellent grey shirts there that know how to deliver training. So we've been shaping for a little while what becoming a training provider might look like to other NGOs, to corporates, etc. Nick Spicer and I were down at Bath Rugby the other day, looking at if we can maybe do some performance work with their players. We're looking to see what we might be able to do for corporates in the conduct and the leadership space, and that's actually getting more and more traction. And as we look to replace the chief instructor role, so what Kev was sort of doing for us before, that's going to be a chief instructor. The person we're going to look for in that space, probably, this is all early stage thinking, but yes, they're going to have to deliver induction, domestic, international response, heat, all that stuff that we need internally, but they're probably also going to have to be able to take the core product that we've got and create commercial product offerings that we can then sell, and all that money going back into Team Rubicon. And we've been kicking that around, flirting with it for a bit, what it might look like. It's starting to come together, as these things often do. You need to socialise it a lot before you make too many decisions. So that's crystallising a bit at the moment. Other things that are happening, Maria Larson, some of you will know her, some of you have seen her on Facebook. She's just done a fuck ton for us since joining in June, July. She went 0 to hero in the training pipeline, so from induction all the way through to responder in the quickest possible time, and then started bouncing through ops because she was available, she's leaving the army, and she's got a pucker set of skills that we need. So she's in doing some consultancy with us a couple of days a week at the minute around our water supply capability, in writing the training, the equipping lines, to make it a capability as opposed to just something we do. So it's great to have her in the office a bit. She's full of energy, she's mega enthusiastic, and she just bleeds TR. So it's wicked to have her in on not on a permanent basis, but just for a while, while she gets her next mega high paid, mega successful job, because I'm sure she's going serious places. Last point before I clock off, keeping this under the 20 minutes. This one's a little bit longer than the others. Is I know the Friday email always looks the same. The subject's the same. Do please open it because we are putting other things in there, and that's where you're going to hear about the opportunities. Slack, I know your Slack channel is mega confused. There's 100 different channels and there's red dots all over the place. If you could just monitor, even if it's just the CEO's video and potentially the general channel, because that's where stuff from HQ does come out to, and the Facebook page, just make sure you're looking at one of them at least. We try to put every bit of information out over all three. So if you can just be tracking one of them, we are going to look in time. It's about hitting the closest crocodiles to the canoe and making that Friday email better, because it's never really changed, although we do put the different information each week. Ideally, we'd have all of you in one place where we could talk to you all the time. That's never going to happen. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world now because some people won't go on Facebook, some people don't like email, blah, blah, blah. So if you can just make sure you are monitoring one or the other, that would be great. And if it's on Slack and you don't want to do anything else, please just monitor the CEO's video channels. Then it's on me to give you this information as quickly and clearly and succinctly as you can, in a way that hopefully you want to listen to it. Right, that's me. Have a great weekend, tribe. Love you all. See you in a bit. Bye.